June is quite an interesting experience because the narrative, while a nice idea, isn't the most interesting in execution. But I really, really liked June as a character, and I was kind of emotionally invested in her story, even if the story wasn't that interesting. This was released in 2015. It's directed by Gustavo Cooper, and it's written by Cooper and Sharon Y. Cobb, and we have a cast including Kennedy Brice as June, we have Victoria Pratt, Addy, Jemison, and various others, and the performances are very good, particularly Kennedy Brice as June. June is a 9-year-old girl who's been in the foster system, and she's gone from house to house, things keep happening, and she's finally found a home where she feels quite happy, but she has some supernatural abilities that may make things very difficult and very challenging, and I guess dangerous and scary, but I don't particularly find it to be a scary film. It has a certificate 15 on IMDb. I assume that's the UK rating, but I'll double check that. And obviously the certificate doesn't necessarily reflect how scary it is, as it depends on what people find scary individually. But at the same time, yes, that's 15 in the UK. It says not rated for the States, and we have a couple of other certificates there. And yes, it was never going to be the scariest film anyway, but that being said, I didn't find it to be that scary. Interesting enough because of the character of June, but not a lot happens. That being said, there was a scene, I think quite early on in the film, when June goes to her new classroom, her new school, and she's asked to walk towards the board, and it was a really great scene. It was quite brief, but I rather enjoyed that. After that, things just kind of slowed down a lot, not a lot happened, it wasn't tremendously interesting. So I think the narrative needed a lot of work to be an interesting story, but June as a character was very well written, the performance was brilliant, her eyes are just incredible. There's just something about this character I really, really loved. So, well-written character, brilliant performance, the narrative is okay, it works, I believe it within the context of the story, but it definitely is not as interesting as it could have been. Do I recommend it? If you're looking for quite an easy watch with a very strong character, maybe give it a go. If you like horror films with a child protagonist, where obviously we have the child representing innocence, but then these dark things happening, it's an interesting dichotomy. If you like that, then yes, maybe it's worth watching, but don't expect the most compelling narrative. If it's not really your kind of film in general, then I'd say it's probably not worth checking out. You wouldn't be missing out on much. If there's something drawing you to it, give it a go. If not, it's not the end of the world if you don't watch it. I guess I don't mind having watched it once. Once was enough, but ultimately I came away from it having not really enjoyed the story, but definitely liked June as a character, so credit where it's due. There are some good aspects, and if it appeals, then I guess I'm happy to recommend it.